What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to another portfolio update. Thanks so much for joining me today. Definitely want to watch this one fully through. Lots of updates to the portfolio, lots of selling today, some big moves coming, some big buy orders. So let's lock in together. Let's get through this market successfully and hopefully more profitably. All right, so in this video, I'm going to cover all the buys, all the sells, any options updates, any crypto updates, anything that I'm considering in the future, as there's a lot of potential in many different stocks right now. So let's get into it. Today's main stock portfolio down $1,200. Today's bigger movers, we got Tesla down 5%. Shopify had some great earnings. It was up over 25% at one point. At one point, I was in the green. My cost basis is right there at 67, and at one point I was in the green, but it did drop back down. Palantir down 1.5, CrowdStrike flat, Meta down 1.6, Riot down 9%, FA's up 1%. Cash is now at 21,000 because of what I sold. And let's look at what I sold in this portfolio. So I sold 200 shares of Enphase and collected 20,800 for that sale. Why did I sell Enphase? Well, some of my favorite companies now are getting down to levels where I think there is the same type of profits potential as I had in Enphase, and these are companies that are much more sleep well at night assets, and I already have enough of high growth companies, higher risk cryptocurrencies, and so I don't feel any FOMO at all putting money into these companies that I'm going to show you, because let's say the stock market decides to rip, not only are these companies that the money's going into going to rip as well, but my crypto portfolio is going to skyrocket. So I'm not fearful. I did take about let's see, I'm down 10% on the shares. So I took about like a $2,000 loss or so, 2 or 3,000 loss. It might actually be closer to zero if you take into account the adjusted cost basis, because of all the covered calls sold and the cash gear puts and what have you. So, but as far as a realized loss on the actual shares, about 2 or 3 grand on that one. I'll get into what those are going into in a moment. Let's see, that was all for this portfolio. I do have the other portfolio to show you some moves that were made. But first, let's look at what it went into, what it's going into. So the 3 companies it's going to be going into are Amazon, Microsoft, and CrowdStrike. Amazon and CrowdStrike being the bigger buys of about 7,000 each, and then Microsoft's going to get 5,000 of that. Amazon, let's see, this is Microsoft. Let's look at Amazon. So Amazon's sitting at 162, and down in the after hours, anytime I see Amazon with an oversold RSI, as well as under the 200-day moving average, we can never be sure if Monday was the exact bottom, but if you look right here, we did have a nice recovery, nice little V-shaped bottom there. So I did not buy in yet because I'm being extremely patient, and I'm glad I did. I literally was going to buy this morning, but after just looking at the chart, I decided if we break the 200 moving average, I would buy, and if not, I would let it ride out a few more days, because in reality, the problems that the market was having on Monday aren't resolved. Today's Wednesday, nothing really changed, and so I didn't see, Monday was a nice bounce back, and the after hours yesterday was obviously a really nice day as well, as far as being in the green. And so I didn't see 3 days in a row as something that was realistic, and so I had a feeling that we would actually sell off earlier than we did today. We sold off in the afternoon. I thought we were going to sell off more into the open, but my thesis was still correct in the fact that today ended up in the red, and I expect tomorrow to be in the red as well. So either tomorrow or maybe even Friday will probably be when these buys will take place. So that was Amazon. This one was Microsoft, same thing. Microsoft coming into a oversold RSI, extremely rare. Under the 200 moving average, extremely rare. So I like that one. It's not getting as much of a as much money as Amazon because it's a larger market cap and it's not down as much as Amazon. So I see less potential with that. And then the last one's going to be CrowdStrike. Obviously, this has been just falling and falling, but it has had a nice recovery. So I see this as a good opportunity, anything under 250. So that'll get 7,000. Amazon will get 7,000, and Microsoft will get 5,000. Okay. What else? So let's look at this one. So I sold out of BITX yesterday. I didn't do a video because I didn't think just selling out of a small position warranted an entire new video for you guys because I always want to keep them interesting. But I decided to sell because that's only a $12,000 portfolio. So it was sitting at 11, and now this went up 20% in one day, and so it moved the entire portfolio up pretty substantially. 11,000 to 12,000 is a substantial percentage move as far as a portfolio. So I decided just to lock in an easy win. Will we go back to 51,000 where I bought Bitcoin at with this BITX? Who knows? But a win is a win, and I didn't want to ride this all the way back down. So I decided to go ahead and lock in that win on BITX. I will surely be re-entering it depending what goes on with Bitcoin. So that was that one. Looking at the, let's see, Robinhood portfolio today. Yeah, these Meta puts credit spreads still up 43%, but those were down, still just holding. Amazon, I still think these have potential. Just depends. If not, I'll look at attempting to roll these or just letting them expire. And then SoFi still down 27%. Let's see. Stocks on my radar. Intel Celsius is looking juicy at this point in the 30s. So I'll definitely be looking to make an entry, probably just with some shares at some point. I'm just waiting for it to stabilize out a little bit and then get into that one. Obviously, CrowdStrike, BITX, Riot, and Intel all looking juicy. Honestly, everything's looking juicy. Just with a nice, red end to the day today. And so there's not much. That's why, again, one additional thing I wanted to point out was today I figured was a good time to make this move because there was a divergence in the stocks. So Enphase was actually up 7% today, and the companies that I'm putting the money into were down. So I figured if I thought tomorrow was going to be down as well, I figured that Amazon and Microsoft would be down less than Enphase would be. So that's why I decided to pull the trigger today specifically. So Shopify, obviously, really great earnings, up almost 25%. So happy to be holding that one. That one was definitely on the chopping block potentially, depending how those earnings went. Let's see. Lastly, or not lastly, but let's look at the options. I'm gonna be super. Hold on one second. Loud and clear. I'm at work, guys. So I'm gonna be super just patient with my options. Like, I really see the portfolio just gaining a lot of appreciation over the next few years. So the options, I'm only going to take just the obvious moves. I'm not going to force anything. For example, we still have the Tesla event everyone's forgotten about coming up in the next few months. So, I'm not in a huge rush to sell any calls. Looking at Shopify, obviously that's made a nice run up, so I'll sell some calls on that probably this week. Riot, I'm not selling any calls because of what I think Bitcoin's going to do. Palantir, I really should have sold some calls today, but I was asleep most of the day because I'm on nights, working nights right now. Hopefully I can get above these Microsoft calls within the next 6 months. Enphase will be done with that hopefully on August 16th. CrowdStrike, hopefully I can get out of that over the next 6 months or so. Celsius is going to be rolled if it doesn't recover in the next 2 or 3 weeks. And then Amazon, hopefully I can get out from underneath that in the next 6 months as well. So I'm looking at going into 2025 with a full portfolio of no calls that are underwater. Hopefully that would be a really great space to be, and then I'll be much more disciplined. However, I was disciplined selling these calls, but no one really could have predicted the just extreme bullishness over the past year of the market. So that was that. So basically, moral of that story is I'm just going to take whatever obvious wins approach. So when something extremely oversold, I'll be selling puts. Extremely overbought, I'll sell calls. But in between, I'm not really going to mess with it. I'm not going to take chances. I don't want my shares called away. I don't want to be riding any puts down further than I need to be, because I think this portfolio combined with the altcoin portfolio can become a 7-figure combined portfolio, and so that's my main focus, not a few $1,000s of premium each month. And then once I hit that 7 figures, then the strategy will switch. Lastly, crypto's back down. I'm pretty mixed about this emotionally because my bags are pretty much packed. If we get, everything's pretty down right now. If we look at the past 24 hours, this portfolio is down 6% for 5,379. But at the same time, these are extremely good prices, and so I've remained disciplined. I haven't been buying because I'm just sort of reading what the market's giving me, and the uncertainty is certainly not out of the market, and I'm glad that I haven't been buying heavily into this big crypto downturn. So it's one of those situations where if the market starts to do one of these V-shaped, blast off type of recoveries, I'm fine. My bags are already packed. But if we remain down here a little bit longer, I can still build out these positions a little bit more. But I'm pretty satisfied with where they're at. The only things I'll be adding to with this, if we get close to $2,000 on Ethereum, if we get to 5 cents on Brett, Dogecoin's done, Prime's done, Aerodrome and Ondo, those are things I will be adding to 100%, possibly Render. And then Solana, if it goes back down to like near $100, I'll pick up, maybe 5,000 more of Solana. But, this is the home run portfolio. So I'm going to be, more inclined to, add to those positions that I think could 5 or 10x in the next year, which is definitely doable, if not more. So, definitely just leaving this where it's at unless we get a major sell-off. That's pretty much all I have for you guys today. Stay strong in there. If you guys could like the video, comment anything that you guys have questions on, let me know what you're buying, and I will see you guys in the next one. As always, take care and God bless.